You no longer need to worry about the sofas and the curtains, and you can now sleep peacefully at night, as this cat won't ruin anything or wake you up, unless a real cat throws it jealously to the floor. The new LEGO Ideas set 21349 Tuxedo Cat contains 1,710 elements and a retail price of €100 or dollars, which is equivalent to a price per piece of almost 6 cents, one of the best ratios ever, if not even the best for this theme. The model will be available for sale from June 1st and measures 32 cm tall, 3 more than this month's other big cat, the young Simba the Lion King. The original idea came from Afol Damian Andres, also known as the Yellow Brick, who, inspired by his cat Miro, a mix of Siamese and Berman, submitted a cat for your home on the platform. The project quickly reached the necessary 10,000 supports and was later one of the chosen ones. Regarding this set, it consists of 20 numbered paper bags, although some contain plastic ones, and already comes with one of the new boxes. They have a lid, and the ends have stickers which, if cut carefully, allow them to be repurposed as storage for sets, or in this case for the cat to sit on, like any cat would do. And no, these boxes were not designed for this set. I had the opportunity to ask some questions to the team responsible for designing this, and I will address the answers throughout this review. The choice of this idea was a bit obvious. Cats are an incredible trend which completely dominates the social media. Even those who don't like cats have probably loved watching some cat videos, right? The original project consisted of a cat with more yellowish and brown colors, but in the final version it's a tuxedo cat represented. This decision is due to the fact that they are very common, but also because of the colors. As this is a decorative or display set, the white and black may work better or to be more neutral for this purpose. As for the building process, it uses a lot of studs not on top, starting by making some sort of base which consists in the lower part of the back legs, which are joined in an ingenious way to another structure where will be placed the cat's body. The next step will be to build the structure where all the parts will be connected. In a somewhat curious way, 18 1x4x3 windows are used to add height, saving on bricks, time, and without weakening the construction. The body is made up of several segments that will connect to the central piece and to each other. In fact, the entire construction is done in a very modular way. The front legs allow some rotation, especially at the paws level. The head is where there are more features and customization possibilities. The head rotates, even too much, 360 degrees, where we can replicate scenes from The Exorcist. The ears also move, and when placed all the way back, they recreate a very funny and typical feline expression. The eyes also receive special attention with the inclusion of 4 decorated elements, 2 of each color. We can have a cat with copper eyes, blue eyes, or even one of each color, as happens with cats that have extrachromia. In fact, according to the team of designers, more than 100 variations of shapes and colors for the eyes were tested. Also, according to them, the inclusion of whiskers was considered but set aside in the end. Not only it did not follow the original model lines, but they also did not find a completely satisfactory result. It was easier to include in the large brick-built version of Simba, as it is an animated character with a more exaggerated look, than in this model where it was intended to be more real. It's almost like a full-size cat scale. Finally, the mouth, with the possibility of having a completely closed mouth, or a semi-open one with the tongue sticking out. Another cat's typical expression. Final note for the tail, which according to Chris McVie was the element that gave him the most headaches. However, I think the final result is quite nice. There is no obvious gap between segments, and it is possible to move the tip of it. In conclusion, I think the set perfectly fulfills its intended purpose, the representation or sculpture of a cat. I think some fans may have been disappointed by the fact that it didn't have that many functions, but this was something tested by the team, and several versions were even explored to make it look like a 3-in-1 set, as if it was created. But this will require more parts, and there were a fear that it would take away part of the building experience. Like the Simba set, there is a very good balance between visible studs, with only the necessary ones to give it a more textured look and show that it is Lego. The set is quite heavy, much more than I expected, due to the 1710 elements that the set includes, and it doesn't even have that many small ones. For anyone thinking about changing the color of the cat, it may be difficult with the existing configuration, as many pieces do not exist yet in other colors. I don't think the set has new molds, but there are some pieces in new colors. So, are there any cat fans over there? At the time the set was announced, I noticed that there was some dissatisfaction with the final look of the cat. But at the same time, the several pictures and video shares went viral. So, what is your opinion on this set? Leave your thoughts on the comments below. Thank you Lego and the Land for sending this set for a review. The opinions on it are my own. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any content. In the next few weeks, I'll be posting more reviews. And most importantly, play well.